Hi everyone, I'm Kathleen. Welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make delicious chickpea tacos that are oil-free and grain-free. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is use about a tablespoon of water. I'm doing this instead of oil, and we'll start with a tablespoon. We may need more, we may need less. And then you're going to add a half a cup of your favorite onion. I'm using red onion. And I'm going to make enough tacos for 4 servings, okay? And you can even do more. So I'm going to turn that heat up, and then we're going to add a clove of garlic. You may have seen Wade do his little trick with the pico de gallo. I'm going to use the edge of your knife, smash it, and peel off the outer skin. Now you could dice it, but I'm going to mince it because I have a garlic press here that will do it for me, and just place it in there. In case you're new to cooking, give it a big squeeze, then you don't have to mince it with your knife, but you can, so it's not a big deal. 1 to 2 cloves of garlic, and this recipe is adapted from my friend Chef Amy Webster in Seattle, and I'm going to write it all out in the comments for you. And you know what? While we're doing this, we are going to add 1 more clove. And all of this you can modify to your liking, okay? This one, we've already got our skin pretty much off. Okay, let's try 1 more. Place it in there and voila. Okay, get those flavors coming together again. And there's Noah. Hi, Noah. And I would like to add even more onion. Now that I see it in the pan, because I just kind of improvise this when I make it now, I'm going to add a little more because I really love onion. And I mainly use garlic and onion instead of other spices. But you could use cumin and chili powder if you like that. And I will add this all in the comments. Because I know when I first started cooking, my friends would be like, oh, I don't use a recipe. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like a first grader learning to read. I follow my recipes, but now with a little more practice, I am doing some improvising. But I will write this all out because I don't want you to feel any pressure if you don't want to. But you always have creative freedom to change it. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so we're gonna let that simmer here for a minute, and then I use Simple Truth organic garbanzo beans, 99 cents at Kroger stores. If you buy a 4-pack, it's even less. So I'm using 2 cans, and again, you can half this. I use 2 cans, rinse them very well, and we are going to add this to our garlic and onions. And I'm actually gonna just put the lid on it here for a minute. Get this big chunk that I didn't get cut very well. And we are gonna add sun-dried tomatoes, which I know is different, chickpeas and sun-dried tomatoes and tacos, but it is amazing. And these are so great because they're not in oil. They're oil-free, they're dried like raisin, which I wish I would have always been using, but I didn't really know where they were, that they are usually in the produce section with all the other kind of salad toppings, nuts and croutons. So let's make sure I get enough this time. You can do 1/3 cup-ish. Again, it's all personal preference. So they're a little tricky to cut because they're so tough, like jerky, tomato jerky. Okay, they have a lot of potassium and calcium. Very good for you. And of course, fiber, like all plant-based foods. Animal products have 0 fiber, so there's definitely a greater risk of clogging the arteries and the colon, and plant-based food is full of fiber to help remove the plaque from the arteries and the colon to keep the blood flowing to the brain and the heart. Okay, let's see what else we can do here. All right, Let's see how things are going in here. Give it some color also. And again, you could add more. Let's see how we do here. I think that's going to be okay. And then another unique flavor here for tacos is cinnamon. And it's so good. Just try it one time. Let me know what you think. I'm going to use a teaspoon. My body loves cinnamon, so I'm using extra cinnamon and no cumin or chili powder, but you could do like 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder and cumin. My body just really loves cinnamon more than those other spices. And then of course, you can omit the salt, but I am going to add about 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So just salt and cinnamon and garlic and onions for the flavoring. And I'm going to add a splash of water and 1 tablespoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And you could use lime. Lime's really good and has that Mexican flavor also. Okay. So I'm going to turn this down to about a level 2 and let these flavors come together, and then we're going to mash it with a potato masher. And this is going to basically be our taco filling. Okay, so I'm just going to turn that down. Bring my cutting board over here, and we're going to make some guacamole. Now I have a video on my channel of Wade, my husband, making guac, but I just want to go ahead and give a little refresher because it was in our old kitchen and it's been a long time ago. So I'm going to use 1 very big avocado, and you can cut it in half. Hope for the best. Wow, it's gorgeous. And take a spoon and cut it in the base to get the fruit out. Okay, there we go. And I'll get the pit out. Wow, this is a gorgeous avocado. You could do 1 to 2. Just depends, how many servings you're gonna make. This is gonna hopefully be 4 servings. We eat a lot of avocados here. So let me get this out of the way. Now we're gonna grab our lemon juice. And we're gonna add a teaspoon of lemon juice. Now you can't overdo the lemon. I used to do that a lot when I was first making homemade guac. So start with less, and it will help you mash, the avocado, if you have that little liquid. Excuse our Noah, he's wanting his afternoon walk and being a maniac. He means well, okay. So easy. We're just gonna do avocado, lemon juice, and salt. You can add in a little garlic, but I'm just gonna leave it since we already have garlic in our meal, and we have garlic in the pico de gallo. I think we got a lot of garlic going on. So if you follow the medical medium, he talks a lot about garlic killing pathogens in the body. I know there's different theories on garlic and onion, but everybody's different too. Their body reacts differently. My body loves garlic and onion, so I just use it as the main flavoring. And sometimes people are spice sensitive to things that have been processed. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Just depends on how hard or soft your avocado is. And then I've diced up some white onion. You could use red onion again, just like we did. And that is really it, with a little bit of salt. I'm just gonna use this shaker here. Okay. You can do more or less or no salt. I have very low blood pressure. I was actually even told to have a teaspoon of salt a day. I don't do that, but I do have some salt, but you can completely omit that. Okay, voila, yummy. We may be eating that all in one setting. Okay, we're almost done. Let's go back and mash these chickpeas and dish up. Okay, so once they've cooked for, about 8 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, then it's a little easier. You can use a fork. You don't have to have these official tools like the garlic press. You can just cut your garlic. But this potato masher does come in handy. And then it looks more like a chorizo here without using plant-based meats. You're just using beans, and beans are just so full of fiber. They have so much protein. I can't remember, a can of these has they're almost 30 grams of fiber, I think. I have to double check, but it's amazing. Okay, let me get that off. Give it a little stir, and that's really it. These are so easy. I make these for lunch quite often, just because not only are they one of my favorite new dishes, they're fast. And again, I make everything 2 days. 2 days for 2 people. Okay, now you're more than welcome to use taco shells, whatever you'd like. My body loves romaine lettuce, so I've been using these instead. So if you're corn sensitive, this is a great little option. So we're just gonna dish these up onto the leaves. These are gonna be your shells. And if some people are not doing as many grains, using cabbage leaves, lettuce leaves, for wraps, for tacos. It's really fun. I was hesitant at first because I love, love, love grains. And then we're going to add a little dollop here, big dollop, of some of our guac. And then, hopefully you've seen Wade's video on the pico de gallo. We are gonna add some of that on top. And you don't even need, it's actually delicious just like this, but since we have some handy, I'm gonna add it, or you could use your favorite salsa. The great thing about making your own pico, it doesn't have vinegar, which can be hard on your liver and have histamines and make you sneeze, but it also doesn't have any preservatives and things like that. So it looks like a little art project. All right, so I wanna make sure you get a good shot of these. These are so good. All right, so here they are, chickpea tacos, oil-free, grain-free. I hope you enjoy them. If you like the video, please click like and subscribe. And I always love hearing from you. I read all my comments. So thank you for saving animals with your food choices, and have a wonderful week.